Hi, my name is Angela Fagg with Messengers of Truth. Today is June 23rd, 2026 at it's 9:36 a.m. I'm 6 minutes late, but whatever. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. There's a lot of things, you know. We do need to bring people together, but there's got to be a hard line that has to be drawn. You can't listen to people that don't believe in Jesus. If you call yourself a Christian and a person of Jesus, why would you listen to people that don't believe in Jesus? And you should never listen to somebody who tells you not to apologize, especially for the things that you've done if you expect people to want to be around you. And, you're going to apologize. And you're going to do it publicly. You can't do things to people and witchcraft and all this other shit and then expect people to be okay with you. All right? My question now is, I'll get to it in a minute who I'm talking about. My question now is, how much are you and Steve Bannon friends? You came out into the public pretty quick. I mean, you were already out in the public. You did one of the biggest sitcoms of my time. I grew up on you. When your show was on, we were watching it. And then the system just all of a sudden hated you, right? And then you and Juan O'Savin hanging out all the time. You're making sure that all the Q posts and the different things that are said in there are around you. But then you go on to other people's show and you call them Q-tards. But then you sit there and you don't even believe that Jesus is the Messiah, period. And you know it because you get all, oh, well, I know he was there. Listen, there's a hard line. There's a hard line being drawn in the sand right now. Very hard line. And it's not going to be any more of this compromise. Maybe that's why Jesus says, I don't know you, because of all the compromise. Just think about it, the compromise. How many children have died because of the compromise? How many little boys' penises have been cut off because of the compromise? I grew up in two different worlds, not meaning two different planets here on Earth, two different worlds, as in my home life and then my life at my grandparents' house. I grew up celebrating Hanukkah and Christmas, because at my house it was Christmas. At my grandparents' house it was Hanukkah. At our house, we could be who we were. We could still be who we were at my grandma's house, but you just don't touch the glass. Can't wear shorts at the table, Angela. Oh, but the boys can. I'm not complaining about how I was raised. I'm just telling you, I grew up in two different worlds, two different kinds of respect. We weren't allowed to talk about Jesus when I was a kid at my grandparents' house. Now, did that stop me? Nothing ever stops me. Nothing. I may fall down, I may get hurt, I may whatever, but I told you, my grandmother believed before she died. And I know that my grandfather believed because of old pictures that I was finding of them going on vacation. I don't know where it was, but I'll show you. My grandfather took a picture in front of this big cross. And my grandmother, you can tell that it's the same area. She took a picture over here where there was no cross behind her. You can't keep listening to people that don't believe in Jesus. You know, I know a lot about Muslims too. I know what they do to their women. And I'm thinking, you know, that's some evil shit. It also goes back into how the Bible was written and why are none of the women's stories in there? Why is everything so broken up the way it is? And I'm going to tell you why. It's because of the Romans and how they stole all the books from everywhere and they kept piling them up in the Vatican. And now they have the right to tell you and everybody else how you should be in your relationship with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, because there's 3 of them. It's not 3 in 1. You know, people have grown very cold towards each other. Very, very cold towards each other. But the ones they haven't grown cold to are the ones they should have. I've noticed a lot of things over the last few years paying attention to this, but I also knew a lot of things way before then. I chose not to want to pay attention to any of it. You should apologize to people. If you feel like you need to apologize to somebody, then you apologize to them. Don't listen to somebody who doesn't believe in Jesus. And all this pukaki, that's what it is, this pukaki, that there's all these different, Jewish bloodlines. And then you're like, oh, well, it does say it in the Bible, Angela. Yeah. But it didn't tell you. It was telling you who the priest class were, who this family was, who that. It didn't tell you where. It didn't tell you that there was a whole bunch of different bloodlines of Jews, because there can't be. Because when they came out of Egypt, it was all kinds of people that came. Because the Egyptians also saw when they put the blood on the door frame that their children didn't die also. They saw that there was a God and not gods or musicians, not musicians. Holy shit. Witches and warlocks, because that's the era we live in. That's the words we use. Now they've convinced everybody in the world that all that's just, that's for movies. That's just for movies. That's not real. Okay. All right. So how is it, if witches aren't real, how is it that I went into a crystal store and I bought some, because I love amethyst, okay? And I like buying it for cheap, but I stopped doing that about 6 years ago. And I bought a candle. And this lady, and I didn't understand why she said this to me, because I'm like, what is she talking about? And she said, just don't try to trap. She looked right at me and she said, don't try to trap me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, whatever. Weird moments in Angela's life where people just say weird shit to me that I don't understand. At the time, I didn't understand it, but now I understand it. So there's your warning to all you witches and warlocks. You're going to get trapped. I'm coming to take everything from the devil. When you take from me, I'm taking back from you. Okay? And some people are like, well, you couldn't even kill that coyote. That was a dog. Okay? A coyote is a dog. And yes, I've killed many snakes because I'm from Florida. You have to kill, I don't care what kind of snake it is. I don't like them. And I kill spiders. Fun fact about spiders, you know those big gnarly ones? Them wood spiders? They're gnarly, dude. Oh, it looks like they're gonna like fly across the room at you. Hairspray. Yep. Because you know them little shits can run fast. So you take the hairspray and you spray it with them, and then you wait. And you spray them again because they're not going to go too fast. They're thinking that, makes them stiff. And then you smash them. They can't run from you. That's a little redneck ideology for you. Just don't use the lighter with the hairspray. Don't do that. Almost caught the house on fire once. I was flamethrowing the spider. Anyways. You listen to witches and warlocks. That's what some of these people are, witches and warlocks. When someone tells you, oh, well, they pulled my fingernails out. Bro, who are you hanging out with that are pulling your fingernails out? Because I know it's not godly people. And if they're telling you they're godly people, they lied. They lied. It's like, I've watched it. And, I've changed a lot. I've already changed a lot. I used to do Halloween. I love to carve me a pumpkin. I like taking the seeds out. They're squishy, when you're grabbing them out of there. I'm a texture person, so when something, I'm like, whoa, that's neat. It's just like making pizza dough. But you gotta roll it around a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of fun to play with. Yes, I've made lots of pizza dough. I worked in a pizza restaurant. That's what I do. I make sauces. I don't make pizza. I make the sauces. I make the dough, for the next. Sometimes we'd have to make it every 12 hours, depending on like Friday and Saturday nights. We try to, because you have to let the dough has to age and rise and stuff. So sometimes we'd have to make it 2 times a day instead of just once. Because we were slinging pizzas out there like you wouldn't believe. But I make sauces. That's what I do. I can make any Italian sauce out there. Even the gross stuff like piccata and marsala. I don't like it. So I know that when I taste it, because you have to, you take a spoon. You don't stick your finger in it because you're working in a restaurant, bro. Don't be dirty. And you taste it, and when I know it's to that right disgusting amount, I know that it's perfect, and whoever's going to be eating it's going to love it. But I don't like it. Alfredo sauce, it's easy stuff. Anyways, I'm beating around the bush again. I used to celebrate Halloween. I loved giving candy out because I wasn't your normal candy giving outer. You know what I'm saying? Like I give big handfuls. And when we first moved into this house, I think the first Halloween we had 2 people knock on our door the whole night. I was like giving them a whole bunch of candy because I was like, I don't need to eat all this. But I don't celebrate Halloween anymore. So I don't even celebrate Christmas anymore right now. And I love Christmas. I love Christmas trees. I love Christmas decorations. I love the family time, doing it, even though I don't have family time anymore. So it's very, very rare. But I liked doing all those things. But I question everything now. I question everything, dude. Because I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things. And I want I'm getting to it, okay? But when you're a Christian and you say you're of Jesus, you can't keep listening to people that aren't. They're not. You know, I read the Q stuff one day. Maybe it was like 2 or 3 days. Anyways, it was quite gross. Because I followed all these different links and stuff, and I shouldn't have done that. It made me feel really disgusting because I was already seeing stuff that I didn't understand at the present moment. And after I went on to that H-hand, whatever the hell it's called, okay? Because, look, I'm not into all the internet stuff. So I went over there, and it was just weird. Like, people were saying weird shit. Like, I didn't understand that. None of it. I'm like, I don't even know what these people are talking about. And then I watched some of those videos about, Juan Savin. He did that. You better grab your popcorn. This is a movie of, and everybody, Trump was supposed to come in and save the world. And everybody thought that Trump was in charge the whole time Biden was in office. And I'm thinking, bro, if Trump's in charge of this and he's allowing all these people to come into our country, why wouldn't you be like, bro, this is not a good idea? If Trump's in charge of this and he's the one that would be doing this, but he wasn't. It was Biden that was in charge. And if we ever find out that it was Trump in charge that did all that shit to us, wouldn't we want to not have him around anymore? Not have any of this around? Do you understand what they're doing to the children? They're coming for your children. There's people out there that have been saying this forever, and nobody's listening to them. Nobody. You keep putting them in school, and then there's people complaining that school projects are getting cut because people are pulling their kids out of school. Why are they pulling their kids out of school? Because of pornograph bullshit that's in the fucking schools. They fucked with so many people's heads. There actually is a part of our Army or Marines or whatever. I should have looked it all the way up so I wasn't just giving half information, but I'm full of so much information that I've read over the years and other things that have just been shoved down inside of me that, it's like a top secret part of one of our Marines or Navy SEALs or Army or some shit that's called Q. And they used it for their advantage. But everybody's still hanging out with Steve Bannon, right? That greasy son of a bitch. When people are doing mass manipulation of large crowds of people to get you to go in a certain way, and then you're told that this was all just for manipulation, and then you keep going with it like, no, it's gonna get so much better. It's really behind the scenes. All these people are in Gitmo and shit, when right in your face. They're making Nancy Pelosi look like a frickin' schoolgirl when it comes to insider trading. All of them. The whole system is built off of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the other ones we do not know their name. And we still listen to their science, right? Their science. And when I say that, I'm not sitting there saying that these individual doctors or whatever, okay? What I'm saying is all this education is built off of a system that is made to hurt us. This electricity is made to hurt us. It's not, right? You get AC, you get that. I mean, trust me, I love AC. I didn't grow up with any AC in Central Florida, so I know what the heat's about, okay? We got our AC, we got all our streaming services, all this comfort, right? To keep you in your fucking house. I'm trying to... When I get irritated, I cuss a lot, and I'm trying to curb that because I'm quite irritated, and I've been irritated for a little while now. You know, a little while is more than 24 hours for me. And I don't like it. I don't like people being hurt. I don't like people being lied to. And what I really don't like, and it's like, it won't even... I don't like people hurting little kids. You know, some people, this person abused me when all you got was punishment. You don't know what real abuse is like. You don't know, like, normal people, because they're normal and they don't think about hurting other people. They don't get the full magnitude of what torture or abuse is. You know, when I was in elementary school, there was a story about a little girl. Oh, I don't remember her name right now, but we read it. And it's here in Florida. I don't remember where. I believe it was here in Florida. And they abused this little girl so bad. Kept her out of school, wouldn't feed her, fed her soap and shit. I can't remember her name. And then it went on for so long. And they killed her. Parents are in jail, I guess. I don't remember. I can't read the story again because it was so sad. Who does that? Why would you starve a child? So anyways, the temperature is above 90 right now already. I'm showing you this. Hold on. There you go. Because my phone is already hot. I took the case off of it. It's got 60% humidity. Which isn't bad. I know most people are going to be like, 60% humidity? That's horrible. I live in Southwest Florida. I have a fan coming tomorrow for my phone, but not until, of course, you know it won't get here until after the morning session. So maybe we should move it until the evening time. Evening's not good for me. We can't be listening to people that don't believe in Jesus. All right, dude. There's a line being drawn in the sand. And a lot of things are going to be happening, and it's going to be horrible. And we have to curb some of it. And in order to do that, the line in the sand has to be drawn. And it upsets me, if you can't tell, because I'm very upset about it. And maybe I'm not really upset. It's not more of a feeling. It's more of like, I just can't believe this is going on. Here comes the ghetto bird. He's flying low, too. Last time they were flying low, some kid went running through the yard. Some black kid went running through the yard with a box full of stolen shit. It's the police one. Anyways, my phone's getting hot, and it's going to... I'll read to you what it says. The device is too hot. Use the overheating protection setting to improve live stream. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Oh. Oh, it took my stuff off. I don't like that. Sorry, I'm learning as I go here. It's pretty hot. That's why I ordered a fan. Anyways, that's actually a pretty neat fan because this is called a small rig, what I put my phone on. It's professional. So it's a small rig and they're metal. It's not some cheap stuff. And then the fan is actually built into the thing that holds your phone. So it'll cool it. It's made for live streaming and other different camera use for being outside. So I thought that was pretty cool. I ordered it yesterday. It should be here tomorrow, hopefully. We got to just stop, dude. It's like they purposely put these people out there to sow the division that's happening right now. It's one more way to divide, right? But the thing is we should have been divided a long time ago. We're not supposed to live in Babylon. You know that, right? We're not supposed to live in Babylon, and that is what we are creating in America is Babylon. All the different languages, all the different religions. This place was never made for a whole bunch of different religions. It was made for Jesus, for his religion. And then when you say religion, it just makes you, it's like, why would I even call it a religion? It was a way of life for Jesus. He was a Jew. Jesus did not celebrate Halloween. Imagine that. Jesus did not celebrate Easter. He celebrated Passover. He celebrated Hanukkah. He celebrated the Feast of the Tabernacle. Okay? Do we even know where we're supposed to go right now? And then you got all these people telling, well, it's a new covenant. It's a new way of life. He never said anywhere to change anything. He added, but he didn't say to change. And if you want a Hail Mary from Trump, it's possible to get a Hail Mary from him. But I'm going to be, look, in order for that to happen, the other gods got to be kicked out, bro. Right? Gods. There ain't no other God. There's only one God. And there's always only been one God. I bet you're still wondering who I was talking about. And I'm going to say it. I'm trying to be a little nice and trying to be more understanding and patient. But when you've already taken the person out of your feed and said, no, I'm not interested in this, so you don't have to see it anymore. And then they pop up in your feed and they say, you shouldn't apologize for anything. No, bitch, you should apologize for everything. The lies, the deceit, the everything. You think that it's just going to be about Trump? No, it's everybody and anybody. It's not about an island. You know it. You know it's not about an island. Why would you go so hard with Q and all that other stuff if you didn't know more? Because you do know more. You, Wano Savin, and Steve Bannon, you're all greasy. It's not just Steve Bannon, too. It's a whole bunch of them. But see, I don't have the proof. I only got what's told to me. I don't have any special servant, agent, whatever the fuck. Secret Service and I'm not saying, what I'm saying is this just, it comes out the ether, bro. It comes from God. I get told shit all the time. Every day when I'm listening to somebody, their reactions, their feelings, Sometimes if there's one person that listen, it's every day for me. I don't have anybody special that I talk to. I talk to no one. Do you know who Frodo's cousin is? Come on, you got to know who Frodo's cousin is. Douchebaggins. Yeah, never mind. I had to break it up there for a minute. Frodo has a cousin and he's named Douchebaggins, and no one ever wants him around. I didn't even want to have to talk about you again. I just wanted to say the one thing that I said, and I was just going to leave it there and leave it alone. But now it's going to be picked up by the world. And not because of me, because God, you know, and then his son Jesus, who you do not believe in, right? Roseanne Barr, that's who it is. It's Roseanne Barr. She doesn't believe in Jesus. She celebrates Halloween, all the pagan stuff. Just to watch her show. Skip through it and watch. Skip through it. Go read the Q post. Skip through it and then watch the stuff she puts around her so she'll be involved in it. Right? Or is she involved in it? It's a good question. You better apologize, bitch. You better be real apologetic. That's your warning. You don't believe in Jesus. We ain't on the same team. Yeah, we ain't on the same team. And we won't be on the same team until you decide to get baptized. Until you say, I believe in Jesus. Jesus is King. God sent Jesus here to be his only son to die for our sins. It's going to come out. And it won't be for me. People are going to look up all these different things and they're going to go hard on you. You watch. You'll be the next one in there. Ben Shapiro already got it. Laura Loomer's already getting it. I didn't do nothing. And I don't practice witchcraft. I don't practice anything that's going to damage my soul and make it to where I don't get to get back into heaven, because that's a big thing right now. And people think that it's not. And you're sadly mistaken. I don't give a shit how long you've been in the game or how long you went to church or any of that. I don't care. You think Jesus cared too? What did Jesus say to those Pharisees? What did he say when they had that marketplace? Maybe it's, you know what? I'll look that up for tomorrow. All right, I'll look it up for tomorrow. And then I'll read it out of the Bible, what it says. And that way we're all on the same page. You know, some people are going to say, well, there's more things to worry about, Angela, than just, you know, someone not being apologetic. Yeah. And all this shit's connected. And we've allowed people that don't believe in God or Jesus, because it comes together, just like the Holy Spirit, to manipulate us, treat us lesser than, right? But then the manipulation is, no, you guys are so important. And I want to make this clear real quick. I'm not talking about Alex Jones at all. Okay? Alex Jones isn't even in this group of people. I'm going to name the people that aren't in this group of people, okay? Alex Jones, Stu Peters, they're not in that group of people. They're not in that group of people. There's more than that, but those are the big names, the real big names. Okay, Tucker Carlson, he isn't in with those people. He's right now trying to find his way. And people are like, what do you mean he's trying? Oh, you know what? You're just going to have to figure that out yourself. And some of these, you know, when someone is questioning and they want to make sure that they have different factions, right? Different factions or sects, S-E-C-T, of the religion of Jesus. And he's talking to the different people because he's trying to understand. And most people are trying to down him for that. But what are you doing? You trying to do any of that? You reading any extracurricular activities? Or are you just sticking to what that man's telling you behind the pulpit? A hypocrisy that goes on every single day. Don't do as I do, but I can do it. Another story in the Bible about that, what Jesus said about that. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. I'm severing it up to, you know, today's era. Huh. You know, and it's not that I don't think I'm any better than anybody else, and I never have been. I wasn't raised to think that I'm better than anybody else. Nobody in my family was. She tried to raise some respectable adults. We were not respectable at first, but each and every one of us are different now than what we were then. Critical thinking? She questioned everything that we did. Are you sure that's right? We had encyclopedias. And we'd have to go and look it up if we were going to talk about something. You had to know what you were talking about. You weren't just allowed to, you know, say something and think that you're right. I'm telling you this because it's important to understand sometimes how people are raised. Does it shape a person? Yes, it can shape a person. Does a person have the ability to change themselves and or their situation at all times? It's choices that we make. And yeah, they may not be good choices, but we have to come to an understanding that all people are going through some things right now. It may not seem like it. It may seem like this is so minute, but what's going to happen next year when there's no fucking food? It's only been going on for a while now. You don't hear your local news talking about it. You don't see any more stories about millions of chickens being killed, a whole bunch of cows being killed. You're going to start seeing them though now because they're just starting out. They started out a long time ago and now they're just kicking it up a notch because they know that their reign is coming to an end. And all these people that you see up in high places that have been manipulating and abusing people, they will be taken down. Their pillars are being kicked over and set on fire right now. And are people allowed to change their mind? Yes, they are. That's the whole reason why Jesus came here. It's the whole reason why he talked to everybody, not just Jews. It was to bring people together and to stop the human sacrifice and the killing of babies and eating them and raping them. You think this is new? This isn't new. It's just kicking it up a fucking notch right now. What do you think Ukraine is? Look, last week was an irritating week for me because not only was the news irritating, but also the things that I was seeing separate from that as people are talking and the different stories and shit. It becomes to be so much and it's so gross and there's nothing I can do about it except for set my thoughts on fire every time it comes in with the hopes that maybe that's helping whatever? Or is it just making the story come even closer? They're already here. How far are we going to let them get? It's a mockingbird. How far are we going to let it get? That's all of us. We as in a human race. How far are we going to get this? Is it just this country, or is this the last stand? Is this country? This country is the last stand. It always has been the last stand. That's why they've been going at it so hard for the last 175 years. They never stopped. They didn't want the colonies to go. And you think they wanted to stop slavery? No, they didn't. They just wanted to stop you from knowing about it. There's slaves over in Africa right now. They're putting little kids in bags, burlap sacks. And it's all black people doing it to all black people. And you want to say America's bad? I mean, yeah, there's kids getting put in bags here too. They're also getting put in big ass pots, and they're slowly boiling them alive. They like to listen to the screams. They like to hear your pain. They like it. It turns them on. So I'm coming. Coming for the devil. I'm coming for you. I am. And I'm going to take it all. And some people are going to be like, Angela, you're not going to be able to do that. Why don't you worry about what you're not doing and what I can and can't do? Because I'm going to try hard. I want it to be just like in the Bible. I want demons to know when my feet hit the ground in the morning. I want them to run when I walk into a mall or a hospital. I want them to flee from me. I want them to be scared. Oh, you're just a baby Christian. First off, there ain't nothing baby about me. There ain't nothing small about me. And I never said I was a Christian. I said I believed in Jesus. There's a difference. You see, I don't need to be included into a group of people that don't even read their Bible. That don't even, what are they doing? Talk shit about each other? Oh, because they do. Gossip is real big in the churches. All you got to do is stand near a group. You don't even have to go to the church. Just go to a church and start walking around and start standing next to groups. You know why? Because this group over here is talking smack about this group over there, and that group's talking smack about that group over there. It's true. Happens in every church, and I know it for a fact because the last church I was in, it was happening all over the place. Well, I don't know how many roundy rounds we've got here. I'm sweating profusely now. How long are we going to let it go on? How long are we going to let it go on? How long are we going to let little fucking faggots, yeah, I said it, little faggots have babies to rape? How long are we going to allow people to have children that it takes a man and a woman? It's not a woman and a woman. It's not a man and a man. You don't have children. So you should not be allowed to foster children or adopt children. And I know a lot of rich gay people, but I'm not like that. It don't matter. If you wanted a child instead of your sexual proclivities, then you should have chose to be with a woman, or you should have chose to be with a man, because that's what gets you a baby. Not not fucking some dude in the ass. That don't get you babies. Not eating some girl out. That don't get you babies. That don't get you babies. You should have thought about that. That's my hard line on that. I don't think you should have children. I don't. But do I control the world? No, I don't control the world. Am I going to let it affect me to the point where I'm going to be angry at all gays? No, I'm not, because that's not me. But you need to know how I feel about it. And how I feel about it is you shouldn't be able to have any children because you are not in a relationship that causes to have a child. Period. How can you expect to have something when it's impossible for you? You know, all I heard about for years, smoke my little half cigarette I put out. All I heard about for years from gay people was, they just want equal rights. We just want to be able to have insurance with our partner if our partner has a good job, this and that. Really? Yeah? That's all you wanted? That's why you do gay pride festivals in almost every single town in America? Because you just wanted to be normal? You wanted to be like everybody else? Do you see us having a straight... Hey, we're all straight over here. We need to have a festival for it. You don't see that. Because being normal is living in society and just being yourself, not trying to sling your dingling in a little kid's face or have a parade that you think it's okay to have your dingling and your titties all out everywhere. Because that's normal, right? No, that's a strip club. It's not normal. Right? Because you just wanted to be like everybody else. So everybody else is out there slinging their dicks and their pussies out in front of everybody, right? Look, this is the way it's going. Because that's what everybody's doing, right? Everybody's doing that. Everybody's like, hey, little kids, look at my titties. What the fuck is going on here? Most people don't want to say it. Well, I just got to stay in my lane. That's what got us here in the first place. Stay in your lane, bitch, right? Stay in your lane. You shouldn't say that. Oh, well, you know, they're people too. Yeah, they're sodomites. And there's churches out there telling them that Jesus was gay. And if you don't think for one moment I don't want to punch that priest in the face, you're absolutely wrong. Because I do. But will I? No, I won't, because I know the consequences to my actions. People out there don't know the consequences to their actions. They don't know if they do X, Y, and Z, it's going to land them in jail because they've been allowed to do whatever the fuck they want for so long. Their parents aren't teaching them. In the next generation, my light just went out, is going to be even worse. Unless it gets stopped now. Is it going to get stopped now? Are people going to start driving the hard line in the sand? Are we going to keep playing these games that they're asking everybody to play? Things are changing. And things will change. And it's not going to be the people who you think it is. So there's a few people that you may think it is. But I can tell you this, there's an unlikely group of two men that are going to work together. And they don't even know it yet. And they're both mad at each other right now. I'm not even going to tell you who it is. Because I like watching it. I like watching to see when it's going to change. I do. Because I know it's going to change. And I know there's other people out there that are going to change. Because I've already seen it. But do we allow them to make that change? Or do we put our thumb on them and call them pieces of shit? 'Cause I think I've been pretty nice. Because this is being pretty nice. I'm going to get my microphone fixed because I think the gain is up too high, which causes you to be able to hear everything. And then it also makes me be way louder than what I'm being. I just want everybody to be able to hear me because I notice on some different podcasts and different people that do things from their phone, you can't really hear them and you have to turn it all the way up from your phone. If you're watching from your phone, you have to turn it all the way up. And then you could still barely hear them. So I wanted to make sure that mine was going to be loud enough to be able to be heard all the way through. And now I've learned my lesson on it. So we're going to turn some of it down and do some tests on it this evening. And tomorrow I'll have the fan, so it won't matter. Because my plan is I want to go some places. I like nature a whole bunch. I've been trying to avoid confrontation for quite a while now. And I've had probably about enough of it. I'm not going to listen to people that don't believe in Jesus. I'm not going to listen to people that are trying to be manipulative. I've seen it. I know the groups. I can tell you this right now. I know that there's different groups of people watching me in my house. I know who some of them are, too. I'm not mad at you. Don't think that I'm mad. I'm not mad at all. It is kind of invasive, don't you think? Anyways. Because I'll tell you something. I know that God won't tell you personal things about me like that. I know way more than you think I know. And I haven't been playing stupid or any of this other shit. I'm not playing no games. I'm not acting like some fake motherfucker because I ain't fake. I'm real. You see? I'll pinch my face. I'm pretty real. Oh, that's kind of fat. I've been trying to do some exercises for that. Things will get better in the end. But a lot of things that are going to happen cannot be stopped because people don't believe it. You may not believe it this time, but you'll believe it the next. That's what he said to me. I said, bro, I believe you. I believe. With not looking at anything. I don't listen to Charlie Kirk. I didn't listen to him then. I'll see a few, little shorts or whatever that would go through my feed, but he wasn't my cup of tea. I'm not saying anything about him badly or towards him goodly because I don't know him. I didn't know him personally, and I didn't know him even by watching any of his shows because I did not. But Israel killed him. Whoever is in charge of Israel killed him. And now you're seeing that they all know about it. Or is he just in witness protection? Right? You'll know. You'll know next time. You'll know that it's Israel. I still don't know where it's at. I'm starting to get a little clearer view of it. I said a couple weeks ago, I was going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going there, but not now. You know, I was going to go to January 6th, too, but I couldn't even rent a car. They wouldn't even rent me a car because I hadn't had a car, so I hadn't had insurance, and you have to have your own insurance to rent cars. Did you know that? And I didn't have a credit card. I had cash. I didn't have a credit card. But something told me not to go. And after I was having such a hard time trying to get there, I said, you know what, I'm not even going to go. I could have jumped on a plane. I could have done a million different things, but I didn't go. I took it as I wasn't supposed to be there. And then when I was watching everything, I was like, holy shit, it was a really good idea that I didn't go. And I take that as God protecting me. Just like he's protecting me right now. I'm not going to Washington, D.C. right now. You'll know when I'm going. It's going to be big. And it's not because of me. It's not because of me at all. And so don't think that I'm trying to say that it's because of me, because it's not because of me. I'm not a self-centered person like that. I put other people before me. I think about, well, how is that person feeling about that before I say something? How can I put myself into their shoes? And then I think about things and and then I'm just like, I'm done, bro. I'm done playing childhood games. I don't play games. I'm not in the game. And I'm not here to manipulate nobody. But Roseanne Barr sure is. Where's Juan O'Savin, bitch? Yeah, where's Juan O'Savin? Your best friend. The guy that nobody's allowed to see his face. Oh. Is it Kennedy Jr.? Right? Because the Clintons are in Gitmo right now, right? Everything's getting settled, right? Huh. All right. But there is a special force in our Army or Navy or Marines or whatever that's called Q. That's why they used it. Because they knew that other people would look into it. They knew all kinds of shit, dude. They know everything. They know what you're doing in your house. You think they don't. Some of them, you want to know what they do sometimes? They like to have these little get-togethers. And they have all these TVs. And they like to make bets on everybody's life. And they like to say, well, watch this. And they'll shoot energy. I know, sounds crazy, right? And they'll make couples argue. They'll do all kinds of things. Just so they could take bets and see what, amuses them. Oh, you thought Big Brother, the TV show, you thought that was for you. No, that's for them because that's how they feel about all of you. Your house is wired for sound. They can hear everything. They can do everything. And they take bets on it. What do you think they're doing right now? They're taking bets on who's going to believe what. How far can we push these assholes? You think they're not? They are. They don't care. We're cannon fodder to them. They just want your boys and your girls to go fight in wars for them. They know exactly what they're doing. But the thing is, they don't know what's coming for them because they think that they're safe because their little friends told them that they were. Huh, right? They showed you text. They showed you things that said that, and that's what makes you a retard. I'm going to tell you, you have to look this up. There's a show called Shameless. It's on Netflix. And it's a horrible family. It makes you feel better about your own family. Anyways, very dysfunctional, but so there's a part in it. There's this lady that could barely ever leave her house. Well, she finally leaves her house, and she had a grandson born with Down syndrome. So she was getting involved with Down syndrome stuff. And she went to this, not a rally, but it was at a school. They were talking about how, different things they can do for Down syndromes. And this Down syndrome kid, because somebody had called him a retard, and this Down syndrome kid said, "We need to go back to using the word retard." And you got to look it up. It's quite hilarious. And he starts saying, "Me tard, you tard, retard nation." It's hilarious. Anyways, you should look it up. It's quite funny. But yeah, they're retards. There is hope. It's just going to take a little time to get there. And we ain't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen nothing. We haven't seen nothing. And that's the sick part. That's the sick part. It's so... It makes me cry. That's why I don't talk about it, because it makes me cry, because there's nothing I can do about it. And I cry because I'm frustrated and there's nothing I can do about it. And I have to see and hear this shit all the fucking time. Just so I know that it's real. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. But I'll tell you, it's making me... I'm not the Punisher. Be very grateful that I'm not. I grew up watching horror movies, Because I want to do the same thing to these people that they've done to these children, that they've done to our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents. I feel like it should be done back to them. Because they have been getting away with it for so long. And then they laugh in our faces and they take our money without even asking. It's just automatic now. They make rules up for us because we're just peasants. That's not what America was built on. Girl in Texas went out to party with her friends. I'm going to tell you this story, then I'm going to be done. It was last weekend. I believe it was last weekend. She went out with her friends, little tiny girl, probably all of 5'2", maybe, if that. And Spanish, she looked of Spanish descent, almost white, but Spanish. Probably white, but with dark hair. Who knows? She kind of looks Spanish to me. Anyways, she went out with her friends. Went to the bar, had fun, decided it was time for her to go home. Had no problems with anybody in the bar or anything. She leaves. She gets jumped by some black girls. Because the little pussies picked a small girl. And then they said, "We'll just beat up the small girl." And they jumped her together. Split the back of her head open. She had to get stitches in it. She's all beat up, all bloody and shit. For what? Because of the color of her skin. Now, who's the racist? Who's the racist? Tell me. You think you can just get the get back? So when the get back gets back on you, what you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Same thing to you, Laura Loomer. What you gonna do when the get back comes for you? What you gonna do? You gonna cry like the last time when you lost your channel? Right? You were kicked off all of social media and you cried about it. Now you think you're holier than now and you can just go and do whatever you want, right? But you don't believe in Jesus, do you? Oh, because you're a fake Jew? That's nice. But people still listening to you, right? Call themselves Christians. But are they? Do they believe in Jesus or are they just saying that? It goes back to the same question. Why does Jesus say he don't know you? Why? I think that's the reason right there. Maybe one of the reasons. There's probably a lot more. Always remember that you are loved. No matter how much they're trying to push you down, treat you like you're nobody, you're somebody. You're the most important person out here. Every single person on this planet's important. They're just making some real bad decisions right now. They don't know the consequences, but they're about to find out. Good luck with those dreams, ladies. Oh, you thought you could do it to other people, right? And you didn't think that God was going to do it back to you, right? Because I know, all these spiritual leaders are going to say, no, that doesn't happen. What happened with Moses? Hold on. What happened in Egypt with Moses? Imagine that. All right. I'll stop I'll stop it for now. Because I don't know if we're getting really hot here. And try to have the best day that you can. Do something that amuses you. Look at something. I had this thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't do it today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. It's like a little lesson. I didn't come up with it, but I'm going to use it. And nobody else came up with it either. I didn't get this from another human. It's bullshit. Try to have a wonderful day. Regardless of what's being said or if, the news is only going to get worse. It's coming to America. It's already started here, but they're hiding it. They're hiding it. Pretty soon they won't be able to hide it. What's America going to do? Are we going to elect more people that are going to lie to us? Or are the two men that are supposed to pick up their mantles, are they going to pick them up? How long do I have to wait for that? That's what I wonder. How long do I have to wait for that? But it's two. Two men are the main. There's other ones that are involved too, but they're not the two that are going to really put the hammer down. These two men are going to put the hammer down. Yep. Hey, I'll give you a little hint. Okay? I'll give you a little hint. One lives in Florida already, and one's moving to Florida. You'll never guess the first one. Oh, there's some people that are thinking that it's them, but it's not. It's not. It's not them. So try to have a really good day. I just wanted to give you that little bit because I'll say it when it starts to get closer before anybody else can. But I'm going to wait until then because I'm going to end up talking to these two people. And before that, I don't really want to say more than is necessary. You dig? Okay. Have a wonderful day. It may be hot outside. Drink some water or some ice cold tea. Don't drink soda. It doesn't hydrate you. It only makes you more thirsty because of all the sugar in it. I drink water and coffee. Soda every once in a while. Yeah, I'm done for now. Try to have a wonderful day. I don't even know how this came out yet. Probably seemed like a real asshole. I don't care anymore. Well, you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm over it. Maybe that's just how I feel right now because, you know, we can always change our feelings. I did get a little irritated right before I made this video because my battery wouldn't go back into my light on my little rig here. So, kind of irritated me. Go swimming. I don't have a pool, and there's no places really here to go swimming because the water's tainted. Yeah, they keep pooping it, I guess. I don't know, but they just said there was fecal matter on Sanibel Island or Sanibel Causeway. Who knows, dude? There's probably... Anyways. They just ruin everything, dude. That's what they did. They ruined everything. They ruined apples. They ruined watermelons. They ruined grapes. They ruined everything. They just ruined it because they're better. They know how to do better. Whatever, bro. So everybody else finds them to be very smart. I find them to be retards. Because really smart people don't want to damage the whole entire world. They don't want to rape, murder, steal, and kill. Okay, look, have a wonderful day and know that you are always loved. You're loved. They just tell you that you're not. Same thing, same you know, that's what the devil does. You know, listen, they've pushed it so far. Now listen to me. That they've been sexually abusing children, and a spirit comes that looks like Jesus so they can teach these kids to hate Jesus. And then they think that Jesus is never going to come for them. And it's not Jesus that's even there. That's some spirit that's a deceiver. Jesus ain't going to be in no part of that. God's not going to be in no part of that. He hates it. He hates it. It may seem a little messed up right now, but it's not going to be messed up forever. I like that saying from that black lady that she says in The Help. I call it the shit pie movie because I thought that was great. And she says to the little girl, "You are kind, you are smart, and you are important." And she made her repeat it back to her. Because there's little kids all over the world that are being abused right now. There's little people that even by their family, they just ignore them. Oh, getting back in front of the screen, you could do this, you could do that. No, we're not going to tell little Johnny what to do. When those little kids just need to hear it. They need to be hugged and loved on and told that they are important. It's the worst feeling for a little kid. And you son of a bitches are really fucking them up. But even adults need to hear it too. You are kind. You are smart. You are very important. God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, they all love you. I love you. I may not know you. You may not know me. But love is to be shared. I got a tattoo on my leg. That's about love. I'll show it to you tomorrow morning. I even have the outline from the tattoo. I don't have the rave flyer that I got it off of. It's an angel crying in the rain because nobody knows what love is. Because nobody knows what love is.